think there's only one saying in real estate is buy and hold rather than wait to buy. I've had so many clients in the past that came to see me, bro, saying I'm only pre-approved for like $400,000 and I can push the number to like 550. Some of them maybe even 6. He looked at us and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing here? You guys don't deserve to live here. And that amount could either give you a boost and give you the confidence that you could buy a property, or it could completely discourage you. So if you go see a mortgage broker, we have 20 different lenders with us with different criterias, policies, and all that stuff. So we can mix and match with your situation. We can find you a bank that's gonna mainly find you the solution rather than discouraging you. You're in a bank. You're supposed to be professional.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, he's like, I make like 5 times your income. And I realized that I'm losing thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars through. That's where I get the most challenge of the people of like, yeah, but you know I can afford it. Of course you can, but...
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Gons. Welcome to another episode of Chopping Numbers. Today I have a very special guest. It's my brother, my friend, one of the best mortgage brokers in the city. The guy that I was able to buy my first crib with. I got Mr. Pave. What's up, brother?
What's up, bro?
How's
Thank
it
you for
going?
having me. Appreciate it. It's going good, bro. What
So,
about you?
man, how's your day going? Everything good?
Good, bro. Can't complain.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, Pave from Pave Mortgages. Yo, tell me a little bit about yourself, man.
Bro, you already know me. We go way back.
For sure.
I was just a kid that grew up in Côte-des-Neiges.
Côte des
From the hood,
Neiges.
for sure. I do mortgages now. So I do 3 things in my life. I hit the gym, I do mortgages, and I box on a side note. So
Staying active.
That's it.
Staying active.
yeah.
I'd love to start off, maybe like we could start off with your story, man. You talking about Côte-des-Neiges. So let's go back to Côte-des-Neiges, the place that brings a lot of a heart to us, as
For sure.
is home to us as well.
Yeah.
So tell me how you grew up a little bit in Côte-des-Neiges in Uptown.
So I grew up in Côte-des-Neiges. We're going way back there. So when I grew up in Côte-des-Neiges, I was young, of course. I was on the street. Grew up in the street of Bedford. And my elementary school is right across from me. You know Bedford,
Of
right?
course, yeah, of course,
So
man.
my
That's-
house
that's
was
pretty
like
much
the
the
hub.
hood.
That's pretty much the hood. That's it.
That's the
My
hood.
house was the hub. That was the meeting point of everyone after school or in between break time. They would just stand up in front of my house, and I'll be the one giving them like cans of like Coke, 7-Up, all that stuff. You know.
Okay, so
my
your
parents were really happy
your
to
family would always take care of everybody.
for sure.
That's
And-
amazing.
And my dad used to play a lot of loud music, so people that would go by or walk by my house, the balcony door would be open, and we'd be just looking at me and start dancing to Sri Lankan Tamil song, you know?
That's amazing.
So so that's where I was brought up. I had my elementary school right across me, and then living in Côte-des-Neiges honestly taught me like diversity. It was great to know so many different culture. You see so many people from different mix
sure.
of like races, right? Like mixed races. You get to meet them. It opens up
for sure.
doors, right? So
course.
I think in Côte-des-Neiges you're super cultured. You agree with me?
So much Filipino,
Yeah.
Sri Lankan, Jamaicans,
That's it, bro.
Spaniards,
Arabs.
all of them.
All of them
We're
are
such a
there.
melting pot, especially in Côte-des-Neiges. And I
Exactly.
think that's what makes our hood beautiful.
Of course,
You get to
bro.
learn from different cultures, different people.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, not that we're like we are a minority, especially being in Quebec.
Sure.
But I'm sure you've learned a lot of skills, a lot of things that made your foundation of who you are.
Yeah.
You want to tell me a little bit about that? Like what made you who you are?
I think the struggles really brings it out because you brought up a good point. We're a minority. So being
sure.
a minority, we don't experience necessarily the life like the majority experiences.
Of
right?
course, definitely.
So seeing that part of life was like, for me, was always triggering of like, oh, is this gonna be my life? Not to say Côte-des-Neiges is not a beautiful neighborhood and all that. I love it. It's beautiful. But there's life beyond that. There's houses. You want to live, own your own place, stuff like that. You want to grow out of that little town and be your own man, right?
Of
So I think
course.
Côte-des-Neiges shaped me into a better person. How to be strong, how to like aim for the sky so that I can achieve what I want to achieve, right?
I love that. It teaches you the hustle,
For sure.
the grind, the grit.
Exactly.
I think for myself, like being from Uptown as well, it like you're already down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you only have to look up. So there's only up to go to. And I feel
Straight
like
up.
for us being from there, it teaches you a lot, being around, say for example, Park Kent, it's a lot more calmer now, but back in the day,
Oh yeah, it
it
was
used to be
loud.
very crazy, you know what I mean? That would be the center of everything where everybody would go, we'd see, people selling drugs, people getting shot, people getting killed.
Yeah.
And I think seeing those realities made us also realize what we don't want to be in
Yeah.
and what we could do better for ourselves as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Obviously, when you're younger, you're so drawn to that life. You're like, oh, me too. You kind of feel like this is what you have to do.
Of course.
But then, one of the greatest things my parents did for me was they didn't put me in the same high school as all the people from Bedford. They put me to a high school in Mont Royal.
For sure. That's
So
where
my-
that's where I saw it. That's where I met
That's
you.
where we met. That's
course.
it. I think that's where our path like really crossed, right?
Of course.
Because my dad lied to me by putting me to Mont Royal, telling me he's gonna buy me a PSP.
Didn't buy it.
Oh no, he bought the PSP
Oh,
though.
you bought a PSP?
But get this, so I have to write an exam to get into this school.
Yes, of course.
So I passed the exam. He's like, just write the exam, and I'll get you the PSP. I'm like, all right, perfect. Ace the exam, get my PSP. I'm super happy. Then he's like, don't worry, I'm not gonna put you to the school. It was just to see that you're able to pass it. All right, cool, whatever. Inscripts me to the school. Then I'm depressed. All my friends went to a different high school. So I'm there. I go to school and I just sit in classes. I sleep. I want to
sure.
show my parents that I'm like rebellious.
For sure.
You're gonna regret your decision, right? And then obviously back then the terms were like 20% first term, 20% second term, third term was 60%.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So my dad told me, he said, look, if you get 80% or more in this, I'll get you a PS3. And my smart dad didn't buy me that.
He didn't buy you that.
So that was deceiving. So that's when I realized
course.
you could work hard and still don't get the reward for what it is.
Of course.
But the school that he put me was a much more wealthier school, and he really wanted the best for me.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
He had the game plan.
Exactly.
His intentions were right,
For
regardless.
sure. So, like you say, it was a reality change because I would go to school. Everybody around me, not to say they're the richest and all that stuff,
For
but
sure.
let's say there's a school trip, man, people were ready to go. The sign up list would go up, right? When the teacher would say trip to Mexico, I'd be like,
I don't got no money for that. what I mean?
count me out, you know?
No, of
But the
course.
list was full, right? So I
Yeah.
never even brought up the conversation to my parents. I was like, hey, can you let me go to this place and whatever? But coming back to the hood, walking from the school to the hood was like, you get to see, okay, I'm in a better place than, you know, where I'm at.
Most definitely.
Summertime was amazing. Play ball,
Yeah,
enjoy.
man.
The neighborhood's super friendly,
Of
right?
course.
So that really taught me. And then I think the breaking point was as soon as I finished high school, I really needed to know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So given the fact that we're growing and the apartment was getting smaller, my parents decided to move us to Côte Vertu. I lived there for like 4 years. And living there, honestly, my mom got me a room where like it was like a room with the laundry in that room, right? So there's a space for a bed.
Damn.
I was a little embarrassed when my friends would come over and I'd be like, nah, let's not go to my house. Let's chill out, right?
Of course.
So that's what made me think that like, hey,
I want to
what's
do better.
Yeah, I want to do
What's
better.
next?
What's beyond this, right?
Yeah.
So and plus I've been to some of my people's houses and you know, honestly, it's so funny to say, but when I went to my friend's house and I see stairs coming down, I was like, what is this?
It's crazy.
Oh, this is your house too.
Right?
Me and my apartment, these are the stairs that go up to, you know what I
To the
mean?
next floor.
Exactly.
No, it's
So-
crazy, bro. Like, 'cause I feel that, man.
Yeah.
That was literally one of my criteria when I first bought my crib last year with you.
Right?
I
You're
just
like,
wanted stairs.
exactly.
It's crazy, but nobody, like, yo, especially coming from the hood, bro.
Yeah, nobody understands
when
that.
you're on the one floor.
Yeah.
But to be honest, bro, I don't even like having stairs right now.
You're like, man, why is everything not on the same
Bro,
floor? I feel you.
I'm fucking thirsty like late at night. I can't even get
gotta
the
run
water.
up.
I have to go down, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you know, like those moments humble you and want
For
better
sure.
for yourself.
100%.
And
Yeah.
I think being in like that type of school and being surrounded by different people ultimately makes you want to be better.
Better. for
How
sure.
do I get better?
Yeah.
So going to that, how do you feel like where did that wanted to do better? Did it start very young, or did it just start off when you went to convert to? Like where was that hunger? Where did it come? Where did it come from?
I think that hunger really translated into like me when I moved into Côte Vertu was really, I think
Breaking
it was
point?
yeah it was a breaking point because as soon as we moved there, on a side note, my mom had cancer. She battled cancer. My mom's a soldier. She's alive. The day she was cleared, she told the doctor, "Can I go back to work?" You know.
Wow.
So obviously the working mindset, it was embedded in me from my dad and my mom. Both are hardworking people. But as soon as I saw that, okay, life is not guaranteed with the whole cancer situation, and me living in an apartment where like the laundry machine's next to my bed, it was like a breaking point of like, man, I need to do something different, right?
Of course.
So fast forward, we were there for like 4 years. But during those 4 years, I think my mom went through treatment for like 2 years and a half, give or take. So a lot of those years were killed through the
So your
cancer
mindset
treatment.
was going.
Yeah,
You were thinking.
I was a little lost, but at the same
sure.
time trying to get my vision and really tunnel vision it into what I wanted to, right?
Definitely.
So my point was like, let's get out of this apartment. Because funny thing is, someone that was working at the apartment, like a concierge, came in.
Yeah.
And the janitor, he looked at us and he's like, hey, what are you guys doing here? You guys don't deserve to live here. I've seen the neighborhood and everything. You guys are genuine nice people. You deserve better. And that was like a deal, like a tell for me. It was like, oh man, maybe we should do something different, right?
For sure.
And my parents were not into like buying houses or whatnot. Not that they weren't into it was always part of their dream, but they never necessarily had the knowledge. It was never shared.
Of course.
So me, when I was younger, fast forward, because as soon as we moved to Côte d'Ivoire too, I started working at the bank. Being young, I got to see people putting money in the bank, how their money moves, how the banking system works, which is so underrated because growing up, nobody teaches you how to make money. And besides making money, nobody teaches you how to manage your money.
For sure.
Right? So you make money and coming out of high school or coming out of college or university, you just know how to go to work, right?
That's what the system is made for.
Straight up.
It builds you to not know these things, you know?
Exactly.
Which is sad because
Yeah.
we should be having this into our system.
We're such big consumers, right?
For sure.
I'm gonna consume my rent, my internet bill, my gas and everything, and I'm left with nothing. And the cycle repeats. I'm gonna go to a job that
It's
like
a rat race.
that's it. So that's
For
the
sure.
Western society, right?
Of course.
Our parents came to Canada for having a better life, but they didn't know that a better life will entail them working forever.
No, of course.
So that's where for me it was a breaking point of like, hey, listen, I see people buying houses. I think it's time for me to save up some money and do the same move. And lucky me, I mean, there's a bit of luck and hard work in there because I saved a lot of money at the time. And back then, it was weed was getting legalized in Quebec. So I invested into some stocks that are weed stocks. And lucky me, man, they tripled in price.
That's crazy.
So that was my down payment right then and there.
That's no
It,
way.
it was time to
actually.
pull the trigger. Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
That's what
bro.
happened.
Okay.
So
I had no idea.
I think I'm blessed
Yeah.
with God's doing, and also like I work hard.
Of course.
So I just feel like, man, those stocks bumped up in prices. It's time for me to buy a house. And really, the story altogether, not to get too much into it, it was a rough purchase because I was 21 at the time. Nobody wanted to take me serious.
Of course.
My mortgage wasn't being taken care of as the way I wanted it to be. And mind you, I got my mortgage with TD. I was an employee with TD. Not to say TD is a bad bank. It's just whoever does your mortgage needs to educate you and help you through those processes.
course.
So I think that really, like, once I bought the house, I felt this relief in me that, like, your mom, you didn't fight cancer for nothing.
But it's a
Your dad, you didn't come to Canada for nothing. You know what I mean?
lifelong goal.
Yeah,
You know, you made the dream happen, bro.
for sure.
It's crazy, but like for most people, that is the dream.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's just that's what they immigrated in the first place to coming to this country, wanting the American dream. That's what they want. You know what
For
I
sure,
mean?
yeah.
And it's like some people don't even get to achieve that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
But you know what? It's very interesting you say that. They don't get to achieve that because they don't have the right tools or resources around them.
100%.
I think anybody surrounded by those resources could make it.
100%.
Because I compare, like, Montreal is a very calm city. It's beautiful and everything. But I have a lot of family in Toronto, and you too. So you know how the lifestyle is in Toronto.
Of course.
People get 2-3 jobs just to
Yeah.
make ends meet and save money at the same time.
For sure.
It's the mentality here that we're like, I want to be comfortable. This is what it's costing me. And they
course.
stick to that little cycle. And I think the day that this is going to break,
Yeah.
our market's going to pick up and everything is just going to go upward from that time.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
We're coming.
Yeah, we're
We're
coming.
coming.
We're
We're
coming,
coming, man.
We're passing the 6
Hell yeah, man. We're coming.
for sure.
I feel like for us immigrants, you know, it's like, you know, first generation or second generation immigrants, you know, we come here. It's like our parents did the hardest job, the hardest part of coming to this country.
Yeah,
But it's our time to build wealth.
yeah,
So for our future generations, and we gotta be the one that, you know what I mean. A lot of times, especially if you go with like people that's been here for so long, you know, you look at them, they already have a house, you know, or they don't have to work as hard, or
For sure.
they already have things a little bit established. I used to always, I don't know about you, but when I used to take the metro, when I used to take the train a lot, I'd always look at everybody, you know, to try to see what their life is like. How did they get there? I've always loved analyzing people, you know. So for myself, it's like, how do I get there? Why is he like that? You know what I mean? But a lot of the time, sometimes they've been established. They've had their parents that worked hard. They have parents that's bought cribs, you know, that's bought investments, and that's been here for so long.
agreed.
So now it's for our turn to be the one that does it.
That's it.
You
The
know,
way I
so-
say is our parents brought the seed and we just planted it.
100%.
Right? They brought it with them when they migrated here, and we planted it. So I think this is where, for me, that was like you asked me, it was my breaking point. I got to get out of there, and I started this, and then I told myself, man, my surrounding, going back to the hood, the people around me,
Who you surround yourself, so
exactly.
important.
So I was just thinking, I'm like, man, okay, I'm here. What about my friends? What about all those people? What are they up to?
Of course.
Like, and funny thing is, some of them we're not in contact right now, but they look at my stuff on social media, and they do reach out to me saying, "Hey, bro, I am gonna buy a house. I want to talk to you." And for me, this is like the biggest achievement.
Hell yeah, of course.
Is helping the people that were in the struggle with you. It's like, okay, bro, don't worry. It's not that complicated. Yes, there's a lot of groundwork to do, but I'm saying if you have the right plan in place, get the motion going.
We'll make it happen.
Exactly, we
That's
can make
amazing.
it happen.
I guess to recap and just try to, understand your story, family is super important to you.
Yeah.
You know, you changing your environment and being in a mindset where, your family was struggling, your mom had cancer, where you were, those are the things that really shaped you and that made you
Yeah,
want to grind more.
for sure. Yeah.
Man, that's beautiful, bro.
Thanks.
And I think a lot of people would relate to that. Sometimes people are not even they're not even ready to talk about these things. And I'm sure
bro, it
I'm
took
sure
me a while.
I'm sure you weren't even ready to open up
No.
about those type of
Absolutely not.
what you were going through.
I guess it helps because the host is a close friend of mine, right? So it just came out. But to be honest, even me, I was stung
I'm
when I
sure-
said that. I
no,
was
of
like,
course.
oh man, did I just say that?
Of course.
But yeah, no, you're right. People don't talk about the
But
struggles.
I feel like that's something that we gotta really embrace, especially coming from the hood, is that you gotta embrace your struggle, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta fall in love with the struggle,
Yeah.
fall in love with the process,
For sure.
because that's who you're gonna be and how you're gonna be.
Yeah.
Because it will show later on, especially when, being in the business world. I'm sure you've met a lot of millionaires, a lot of successful businessmen. You could see the values of those people when you talk to them. The way
course.
you shake your hand, the
Yeah.
way you look in the eyes, the way you feel that pain, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the struggle that's been, and that's respectable, bro.
Yeah.
Like the struggle that you go through will always be respectable.
For sure.
And I think that your story is amazing, bro, which makes a lot of sense of how much success you've had, in your career at such a young age as well. But bro, kudos to that, for
Thanks,
sure.
bro. I
Shout out my
appreciate
dog,
it.
like
Thank you, bro. I think
one of the best hardworking guys I know.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. I think when you give back what you didn't have, it's the best feeling, and life is like a karma. You do good, good comes back to you.
Hell yeah, of course.
And I think that's been my fruit, because a lot of people are so focused on like, what do I post on social media? What do I do to get some business and whatnot? I think my business is pretty vanilla in the sense of like it's word of mouth.
For sure, of
Pave
course.
helped me for my house. He really made it easy for me. You should
course.
contact him.
Of course.
And then people just talk. And then the phone just rings. All I gotta do is
Hell
pick it
yeah.
up, right?
Of course, man.
So we're
People
blessed.
real recognize real, man.
course,
They'll
bro.
see that, you know what I mean? I really believe in like you put out the right energy. You don't even like I know you said, you talked a little bit about karma. Honestly, man, sometimes things won't even come back your way.
True.
And that's just life showing you that you can't be, you don't change who you are. Just keep if you're a great person, stay a great person. Be good. It doesn't matter. Some people won't love you.
Yeah.
Some people might hate you. It is what it is. And I think that also is something that I learned being in the hood.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
Nobody's gonna love you sometimes.
Yeah, because you try to change yourself for everyone, right?
For sure.
There's
They'll
a
love you
Jamaican
later.
guy here, there's an Arab guy here, there's a Filipino here.
For sure.
I gotta speak all those languages for everybody. No, just be yourself. And believe it or not, one Jamaican guy's gonna like you,
Of course.
like, and be chill with you and everything. But some other guy is gonna be like, nah, I don't wanna see you. You know what I mean?
Of
But
course.
that's society, and like you said,
Yeah.
be
yeah.
yourself, right?
Be yourself, man. We'll always
yourself.
win.
But bro, I like what you said. It's the fact of everybody has struggle, but just don't stop grinding.
Of course.
Don't stop seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Of course, man.
Don't just adhere to life like, this is my life and this is it, right?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Life is not easy, you know what I mean? You're gonna go through struggles, you're gonna go through hard times. I know a lot of people are doing it, and they have a lot of burden into them that they keep and they don't open up, you know what I mean? So I think it's very important, especially as men, to fucking open up, talk about it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So don't feel like all the pressure isn't just to yourself, And I feel like people will understand you a lot more than you think,
I agree.
I guess going back to, going forward to the next point, so now we get a little bit of, how your foundation was based and how it was built. So how did you get into the mortgage game? Tell me about that a little bit.
So like I said, I was already working at the bank since I was like 18 years old.
Yes. What were you doing?
So I did a various like roles and whatnot. I started at CIBC. I was cold calling people,
Okay.
clients that are existing clients, to stir them during their supper time and whatnot. To be like, hey, you're a valuable client. Don't you need a credit card? Don't you need X? Don't you need this? Don't you
Okay.
need... So that's how I started.
Like sales a little bit.
That's it. You gotta start somewhere, right? Started with there, and then right then and there, I had already seen in CIBC the mortgage posting, but I was so young at the time, and I used to lie about my age, so people could take me serious. Because I was a sales guy, man. I straight up, my numbers were there, just my age wasn't there. So if I had told people, "Hey, I'm 19," they wouldn't have taken me serious. So
Of course.
I started telling people, "Hey, I'm 23." It's funny because those guys now are asking me, "How come you haven't aged so much?" You know, it's funny because when it's my birthday, those people became my friends, right?
That's so
They look at my
hilarious.
cake and like, "What the, what happened?" You know. Now I have to tell them it was a white lie. I had to do it, you know, to make progress. Anyways, I was applying for a promotion in CIBC at the time. The manager didn't like the fact that I lied about my age. He said, "You're too young. You're not fit for the position." Young me, ego, everything got the best of me. I said, "Look, I'm leaving," and I left. But it's the best decision I did because I went to then TD,
Of course.
did the same thing but call center.
Yeah.
Again, I won the trip for best employee and whatnot. Flew to Punta Cana. Great experience. Got to see like 800 employees from TD.
That's amazing.
I was like, wow, I'm living the dream and all that stuff because I never been to a resort 5-star, especially at that time. I was like, oh damn,
Mama
hard work
Juana.
pays off. Mama Juan.
Come on, man.
Yeah, for sure. You already know. Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, bro. It's a movie.
course.
Yeah, I love it. So going back to that for me, it was like, oh, hard work does pay off.
Hell yeah.
At TD, I realized. Then I'm like, okay, now I can finally make some move. Now I can move from there to now work at the branch. So I worked at the branch. At the branch, I started off doing some opening bank accounts, credit cards, basically newcomers. 2 months in, got a promotion. I became a financial advisor. So that's when everything flipped the switch. So I was doing a mix of everything. So I would open people's business account, their mortgage, their investments, their credit card, you name it. I was doing everything.
All of
I was
it.
a jack of all trade.
So you
Just
got-
getting
you got to
paid
touch a
as
little
like
bit of everything.
yeah, I was getting paid like a janitor, but I was a jack of all trade, right?
For sure.
Then obviously
Hey, man, you
aim
got to
for
start somewhere.
that's it. So you got to do the groundwork.
Of
So
course.
I saw that, and I then saw some mortgage specialists. Those are not brokers; they're specialists. They're a little different. So specialists are they work for the bank. They're employees per se, but they work on commission basis. Versus us mortgage brokers, we're not employees of the bank, so we work with multiple banks, and we will find you the bank that is suited to your needs rather than a banker that's just gonna push you the bank product. So I'd seen those bankers coming in, and they had a complete different demeanor. Me, I was young, suited with a
Yeah.
tie, always having good. These guys come in jeans, like a polo, and they were like super nonchalant.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just looked at him and I was like, "You're in a bank. You're supposed to be professional."
Yeah.
And he looked at me. He's like, "I make like 5 times your income." I was like, "All right, I'm sorry." So then I realized, okay,
Eyes
yeah.
open.
Eyes were like dollar sign, man.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
like, shit.
oof, that's a good opportunity. I'm doing everything right now, and I'm getting paid like a janitor, right? Like, you're
course.
making all that. So that's when my mind triggered to be like, okay, I want to get into mortgages myself too. So I chose to, instead of staying at TD, I chose to go to Scotia and just do mortgages.
There was opening there, I guess.
Yeah, there was opening, position, and all that stuff. And also at the time, working at TD, my manager didn't want to let me go, so
Does
I
it
had to.
require any like prerequisites, or is there anything to
Well,
get it
banking
done?
experience is a good tell, and sales experience essentially.
Okay, so you don't have to like go to school for it, example,
Not at the bank.
not at the bank.
Not at the bank. So like at the bank, they don't ask you for that.
'Cause
Some banks,
you're going through the banking system.
yeah, you're going through the bank system.
Okay.
So as a broker, you need a license to practice. At the bank, you don't need anything. So they
see.
teach you, right? You
I
just
see.
gotta have the qualities and whatnot. So I started at Scotia because I told myself at Scotia, okay, listen, I'm young. Maybe I won't get like the businesses that I'm hoping to get.
For
I gotta
sure.
start somewhere. I go to Scotia, and Scotia was giving me some leads, but it was mainly all my clients, my circle. Everyone that were coming back to me because they knew me from a long time. They worked with me at X place, or they did this with me. So they're like, Pavi, I want you to help me. And then I was like, okay, I'm doing all this groundwork, all this thing. And then the first full year at Scotia, that's where income taxes hit. And I realized that like, damn, I'm getting a T4, but I'm doing the job of a self-employed person.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously I compare some of my income compared to other mortgage brokers I knew at the time, real estate agents, compared Inc. versus an employee salary and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And I realized that I'm losing thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars through
For sure.
taxes,
Of course.
right? So that's an important part. Your previous podcast was about taxes, right? So
100%.
that's one thing we don't realize, how we work hard, but all of it goes to taxes, or how to defer those money to make more money, right?
Exactly.
Told myself, man, I'm just gonna go independent. I don't need the name of the bank in my back to get clients.
Of course.
I'm the brand.
Yeah.
We pave your way into your mortgages.
I
That's
love
why it's
that.
called Pave Mortgages.
I
right?
love that, man. I
So
love
that's
that.
where we started, and that's where we are right now.
That's amazing, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Man, if you were to tell if you were to like do a little recap, let's say you have a young 16-year-old that wants to go through the route, I guess, the best route or the route that you think might be best, and he wants to become a mortgage broker, how would you tell that 16-year-old that's just finishing off high school?
I'll tell them, listen, you're done high school, right off the bat, get yourself into like Collège Profession, La Salle. They offer mortgage brokerage classes.
Okay, so you would tell them to go through.
Yeah, go through the class right off the bat. And working at the bank, it's nice. Don't get me wrong, nothing bad to say about banks, mortgage specialists, and all that stuff. I just feel like there's a certain comfort zone working for the bank because they give you some benefits and insurances and all that stuff that you don't get as a self-employed mortgage broker.
For sure.
And especially with the new Gen Z and the new Gen, right? Everybody wants to make money.
Fast.
They're fast. That's the word.
They
That's
wanna
what I
make it
couldn't. Yeah.
fast.
Everybody wants to make money the fastest way possible.
Yeah.
What's the fastest way you're going to put more money in your pocket is you being self-employed. You get 100% of the money that you make in your bank account. Then you figure out the whole tax system with an accountant.
Of course.
So I definitely recommend that, especially if you know that you have the drive to go and get your clients,
Yeah.
network, and all that. If you feel like you're a bit shy, you still need some like groundwork to do, then apply for a position at the bank. But I think we're getting straight out of high school, maybe they would require you to work at the bank for a little bit of time.
No, for sure.
Versus being a broker, it's a license. You pay for it and you do it. You could be whatever age, 18 to start, right?
Okay.
So I would not tell them not to take the bank route, but I would still tell them you have both routes.
For sure.
If you want to learn, you want to understand how to talk to a client, how to process everything, how the corporate ladder works, go to the bank. Nobody teaches you the corporate world better than the bank.
Of course.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks.
I feel like, I try to especially show, whoever watches the videos, especially, the youth always being sort of the people that I want to talk to and try to help out a lot. I think it's very important to know that there's options, you know what I mean? Especially, coming from neighborhoods like ours.
For sure.
So I think it's great, man. I think
course.
you're doing such a great job.
Thanks, bro.
I know recently you won an award, right?
Yeah.
You won an award recently, a couple months ago.
Yeah, so...
What award was that again?
Yeah, thanks, man. I got an award for being top 5% of the entire franchise, so that's Canada-wide.
Wow.
And I'm in the top 10 of Quebec, so...
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
So-
Congratulations, man.
Thanks. I appreciate
See,
it,
man,
bro.
the numbers don't lie.
Oh, for sure. It's for
I'm sure.
it's people like you that trust me, that
Of
makes
course,
me who
bro.
I am, right?
We'll have it right here. No, I'm just joking. But check out my boy Pave for sure.
For sure.
But man, if I were to go a little bit, when it comes to understanding, I guess for people that don't know the difference between, say, a mortgage broker or banking, going through the bank, like what is the biggest difference and what's the biggest
Added value.
advantage going with a mortgage broker instead of just going through I gotta just mortgages at the bank?
So basically, every bank has their own criterias, policies, and all that stuff. Now, if you take your file and you bring it to the bank might qualify you for X amount. And that amount could either give you a boost and give you the confidence that you could buy a property, or it could completely discourage you because their policies doesn't align with your income, and for them, this is a risky file and whatnot. Versus if you go see a mortgage broker, we have 20 different lenders with us with different criterias, policies, and all that stuff. So we can mix and match with your situation. We can find you a bank that's gonna mainly find you the solution rather than discouraging you. I've had so many clients in the past that came to see me, bro, saying I'm only pre-approved for like $400,000 and I want to buy a duplex. There's no duplex for $400,000 in Montreal.
You gotta
dead.
go
It's
like
done.
the butt fuck of nowhere.
Yeah, that's
out
it. In the
to buy-
boonies,
the
like
boonies, yeah.
either in the south or in the north, right? So sit down, go over certain numbers, and I can push the number to like 550. Some of them maybe even 6, and they were pleasantly surprised. Yeah, they're not getting a chateau, right? They're not getting a
No,
castle,
of course.
but they're getting a nice startup point and being in the city of Montreal.
For sure.
So essentially, getting back to the point, what I would like to specify is if you work with a mortgage broker that is experienced, that understands the banking world, and that can find you the right solution for you, you don't need to go see your bank because we already work with your bank.
I love that.
So working with your bank just opens you one door. Working with me opens you all the doors.
Many ways.
Many ways.
I love that. Would you say for yourself, why should somebody go with you? If you were to like market yourself right now, and why should I go with Pave Mortgages?
So Pave mortgages care about you.
Care about you.
So I think that's the difference.
Talk to the camera. Tell them, Pav.
So
Tell
Pave
them.
mortgages, we care about you. The difference is when you buy your house, it's like I'm buying the house with you. And it reminds me of my first experience, and I want to make it as smooth for you guys and make it as easy as possible. And also, we maintain a relationship for the lifelong of your mortgage. You are going to call me back when your mortgage is up due for renewal. We are going to be talking. I'm probably going to have white hair by then, but we will be talking. You will have your kids. They're going to come and see me. Maybe my kids will be your kid's mortgage broker. I don't know. But at Pave Mortgages, we care, and we're going to give you the right solution for you. And we do this for passion and for a purpose of helping others that didn't know there's an easier way to buy houses. Because buying a house, to be honest with you guys, not really getting into the nitty-gritty of things, it's not that complicated. Yes, it takes down payment. Yes, it takes a bit of savings. But once you know the process, you can get into a house very easy. It takes a lot of sacrifice, but that's it.
I love that. Now I vouch for that too, man. Like, he was able to unlock a dream of mine that I've worked for so long. And, you know, if anybody knows me, how long I've been cutting hair.
Oh, it's been a
Quite
minute.
a while, you know, when like
I think I seen you cut hair in the bathroom.
Hell yeah, man.
In the high school.
I even came to him when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
Wasn't ready yet even.
For
So
sure.
I'm happy that I had to go with my guy. But
Appreciate
also,
it.
man, he takes care of you. He teaches you. He educates you. And this is what you need. You need somebody that you can trust, especially with making one of the biggest purchases
Oh, yeah.
you'll ever make in your life. You know what I mean? So, man, shout out to Pave Mortgages, man. Shout out my guy.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
I want to talk a little bit about Montreal right now. Like, what is the situation in the city right now with buying, and how is it going right now in the market?
Economically,
Yeah.
I mean, with the situation happening around the world, with Iran, war, U.S., and everything, with the borders being closed and open, like,
How much does that impact right now?
so it definitely impacts a lot. You saw gas price. It's insane. I was gassing the other day, and I'm so used to pre-authorizing to get a full tank
My gosh.
that I look through, I paid $37 extra for the same full tank that I usually do.
Oh man, you gotta go electric.
I don't know. Do I want to? Do I
just
want to
joking.
drive a microwave? You
Fuck
know,
that,
I'm
man.
not sure. I'm not sure if I'm there
we
yet.
ain't
dude.
going electric. Man.
No,
Fuck
no,
that,
we're not. We're
man.
not. I gotta hear the motor. You know what I mean?
No, of course,
I
of
gotta
course.
hear that V6, V8, V10 one day, V12 even.
Yes,
But
sir.
no, never. But what I'm saying is, the interest rate definitely impacts the market, right? Right now, we're in a period where we're just gauging to see what's happening. As you saw, Bank of Canada has just announced rate
It's
holds.
a little bit stable right now.
Yeah,
right?
they've
They're
been just
holding it.
Yeah, they're just holding it. So holding it doesn't mean that things are going good. We're just stabilizing. No, it just means that we're just waiting to see what is the damage that's gonna come out of this, right?
For sure.
So that's what we are foreseeing. Now, if tomorrow there's a peace treaty and war is done, we're back to normal. At the very current moment, believe it or not, the market's still hot. People are still buying properties. Is it at the same volume as when the rates are lower? Absolutely not. Because there's some people that are a bit more, okay, now I got to take care of my savings. Because in a period of uncertainty, what you want to do is you want to save money. You want to limitate expenses. You don't want to get into those big purchases. Some
course.
other that have been saving this for such a long time, you know, life is like a circle. It's like a clock. It goes clockwise, right? Some people have been saving. They are buying right now,
Yeah.
regardless of the situation. Is it a good buy? I think right now, if you are able to buy and assume those payments, what's beautiful about it is just the fact that you're not going to have to overpay a house
I see.
because the demand is not there. There are some houses that are still getting bidding wars on it because people are still buying.
Of course.
But you can essentially find a house that is listed at X price and maybe even negotiate it lower or even buy it at the price, and you'd be super happy. Compared to the people that bought in 2021, houses listed at like 500,000 will sell for 750.
Sure. Yeah.
Those people at renewal time,
Yeah. For sure.
I get a pleasant call.
No, of course.
Yeah, my rate went from 1.8 to 5%.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
payments are up or sky, you know?
No, of course.
So right now, I think it's a good time to buy because of the uncertainty. And if you have the savings to do so, do it.
Do it.
If you don't have the savings to do so, save your money, hold off, but keep saving. Don't just like, because Pavi told me I shouldn't buy it, don't let that dream die. You know what I mean?
So is there a right time to buy?
Oh, in real estate, I
Or-
think that
or
I
every
think there's
time
only
is-
one saying in real estate is buy and hold rather than wait to buy. Because when you buy and hold, your property will gain value, and slow and steady wins the race.
Of course.
You never lose money in real estate.
Of course.
You only lose if you're impulsive. Say you buy a property today and you want to sell it tomorrow. Market's down. Okay.
Doesn't
But
make
if you
sense.
choose, if you have time, I bought it yesterday. Now I'm gonna sell it in 5 years from now. I'm gonna wait for the market to pick up.
For sure.
Eventually, that real estate is gonna pick up value.
Is there like a minimum amount of years that you would suggest somebody to hold their property for?
5 years,
5 years.
5 to 3.
Okay.
3 is a good number because people take 5 year
The
terms.
renewal usually is a 3 or 5.
Exactly.
Okay.
Usually people take 5 years even. They go, I want
Cool.
stability for 5 years, but in between they break their term
Yeah.
because they need to either upsize the house or downsize the house. So many things could change in life in 3 years.
Hell yeah, of course.
Right,
In,
so-
in 1 year. So
In
much
1
things
year.
can
Exactly.
for sure.
So I'd say 3 to 5 years is a good
Okay.
time. It's a good time because your house picks up a decent amount of value. Now it depends. If you put 20%, 3 to 5 years. If you put less than 20%, stick to 5 years. You're
I
not
see.
gonna regret it.
I guess it might go back to the if I were to ask this question, I guess it might be depending, but would you suggest a fixed or variable rate?
Today, situation
Today?
changes. So today, look, if you Google today, is variable better than fixed over the long term?
What will it say?
It will say yes. Because it's proven that variable over the course of 30 years that you're paying your mortgage, because you're going to take a term right now,
Yeah.
5 years, and during that 30 years, you're going to keep renewing up until the 30 years is done for your mortgage. So the variable goes up and down, right? Or
Yeah.
sometimes it just stays stable. The fact that it comes down, you're beating economy in those moments. So it's like a double-edged knife, right? So when times are good, it's good. When times are bad, it's bad. However, like if today you were to choose a rate, variable is proven. Like I said, it's the best option that's gonna save you over the long term. But let's say you're a person that is like budget oriented. I have a fixed budget. I want to do this. I would probably go with fixed.
I'm that guy.
You're that guy. Look for stability, right? The
Yeah,
world
for
isn't
sure.
stable, right? There's no
Yeah.
right answer. The world isn't stable. It takes stability.
sure.
Your payments are fixed. You know, no matter what happens around the world, your payments will stay still.
Of course.
Versus variable, you have the uncertainty of, oh, same mortgage payment, but I'm paying more in interest. Oh, I'm paying less in capital.
Yeah.
And in a few years down, if you didn't pay no payments because your interest ate up your entire money, you're gonna regret it, right?
Makes a lot of sense.
But when the times are good and you're paying a lot more principal, you'll be like, ah, man, I should have taken variable.
of
But
course.
it depends per person, right?
yeah.
If
yeah.
you're a budget-friendly person that has a budget established, and I recommend everyone to do this. This is so underrated. Taking a paper and writing your actual expenses in life, because we don't realize them
Everything.
racking up, right?
Everything.
Everything.
All your subscriptions.
$20 for a gym membership.
Your girlfriend's going out with your girl.
Girlfriend's what is it called? The Spotify premium subscription,
Oh my
right?
God.
You got to subscribe the Netflix for
All
you
of
know.
it.
you have to count all of that and see what
Yeah.
is your monthly expenses, what is your revenue, what are you left with.
For sure.
People don't do that. It's insane, right?
No, of
They
course.
live by the day, right?
Hey, to be honest, bro, if that floats your boat and they're happy, I think that's what matters.
That's a dead end circle.
But man, you'll face the consequences,
For
right?
sure.
I
One
mean-
day when you realize that, like, man, all this money is flowing, nothing's staying, where's my money going? Then you realize.
If they're happy, we'll let them be.
That's it.
This podcast is probably not for you then. No, I'm just joking. It's for everyone.
Hey, you there. You're looking pretty crusty. Do you need a haircut? This guy is looking fresh. You want to look fresh like him? Press the link, thesection.com. Book your appointment now. God's hands.
So what's like a big misconception of being a mortgage broker?
Oof. That we are the bank.
Oh,
I have people that think that I have suitcase of money behind me that I'm gonna give you money for you to buy a
yeah,
house.
the lenity of like,
No.
I don't have nothing.
That's it. I don't have nothing. So if I were to make it simpler,
Yeah,
say the bank is the judge, I'm your lawyer. I'm pleading your case to the bank. We're gonna make it work. You gotta trust us to make it work, right?
for sure.
Policies are there and whatnot, but I think that's the biggest misconception is a mortgage broker can make anything work. Policies are policies. Some banks are gonna be scared. Some others are not gonna be scared. We're here to find you a solution. Of course, with 20 different lenders, we should be able to find you a solution.
For sure.
But sometimes the solution we find is not enough for them. But at the end of the day, we say what's right for you. So I have so many clients that come and tell me, and especially in this day and age, they want to buy a property by themselves. Given the whole relationship crisis, all
Yeah.
those problems, right? They're scared to
course.
get their but their significant other is gonna live in the property.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna contribute to the payments.
Of
They don't want to
course.
add their name. They're like, no, I make X amount. Can you help me buy? But the thing is, with your X amount of income, you only qualify for this property. Because
Yeah.
the way this is settled, and you also have to understand, if you're buying by yourself or only using your income, it means you're the only person responsible for this house. If
Yeah.
tomorrow you don't pay, it's your credit that's bad.
Yeah.
Yes, you could tell me all my partner is gonna pay and all that. If that partner is not there, or if that partner chooses not to pay, you're the one the bank's gonna come after. So we look at your portfolio to see if you qualify. Now, if we add that person,
For sure.
things are gonna be different. There's more income, but I think that's where I get the most challenge of the people of like, yeah, but I can afford it. Of course you can, but not yourself alone.
I'm sure. I'm sure a lot of people, especially with this economy, come to you with that situation.
Yeah, the things that breaks my heart is seeing someone that bought a house and that calls you a few years later. It only happened to me with, I was into, I helped out one client. One client only called me after buying a property 2 years later. I cannot afford this house.
Man.
And my reaction was like, wow, man, you just got yourself into a house, spent all your savings in it, and now you want to sell it. Is there any profit? Because like I said, slow and steady win the race, right?
Of course.
So it was a tougher pill to swallow. I felt like maybe I could have maybe helped him better at the time. It's not about finding solutions. It's also making sure the client could afford it.
Yeah.
But at the time, to be fair, his wife was working. She stopped working along the way. So that's what happened.
Shit happens, right?
That's it.
Is there anything, for example, throughout your career that you felt like, I guess you would tell your younger self, young Pave coming up in the industry, the mortgage world? Was there a mistake that you did that you would have liked to avoided, like coming up? Or is there something that you wouldn't, or you just keep it how it is?
I think there are obviously always mistakes, right?
For sure. You have to make mistakes.
That's it. I think the biggest mistake I would give my younger self and to every younger person out there is that we all want to make money quick. We all want to make it fast. We all want to get out of the hood fast. We all want to be in a mansion fast. Everything. You want fast food too, right?
Hell yeah, of
Uber
course.
Eats or DoorDash, whatever. But everybody wants everything to be fast. But sometimes you have to realize that life is about slow and steady.
Yeah.
You are going to have your steps to do, and don't try to skip them. So that's what I would like to tell my younger self that was so cocky and driven and ambitious. Be ambitious. Also be aware of the reality that it takes work and time to put that in.
For sure.
Because your work translates, right?
Of course.
So that's what I would say.
I like that. It's good to know because I think today, everybody wants that
Fast success.
especially that younger generation, even older people as well,
sure.
We see things online, we want money fast.
Man, when I
you know,
listen to
go-
someone talking like, oh, they made money fast, I was like, okay, I'm going to go do this. But no, that person was doing this for 5 years to be where he is today.
No, of course.
I got to take that into account, right? So
Of course. One thing I actually wanted to ask you about, because I know you're talking about, banks real quick, maybe going off, but is there a big difference between, let's say, like, physical banks and, like, is it called non-physical banks? What's the
we
right
call
term?
them monolines. Monolines are banks that are virtual.
Okay, virtual banks.
That's
Sorry.
it. Yeah. So
Is
is
there-
there a difference?
What's the biggest difference in a virtual bank and an actual bank?
Like an actual bank, usually an actual bank's interest rate's higher just because they have employees to serve, they have banking hours. You can go and sit down and discuss with all your banking needs with them.
Okay, so the rate plays a role with that.
Plays a role for sure. Versus the monolines have cheaper rates because they have less operating costs. It's like running your business, right?
Perfect. They don't have the rent. They're not really.
There's less cost to
Less
be
cost to it,
involved.
yeah.
So okay, we could maybe give a break to the clients to get that kind of clientele, right? And also, let's be honest, being a homeowner yourself, how many times did you have to call someone to discuss about your mortgage needs per se or modify certain things?
Never.
Because your payments are pre-planned. They're already set up.
Yeah.
Now, the only time you would think of calling the bank is if you want to prepay, you want to pay faster or whatnot, but you can do all of that online through the virtuals.
For sure.
So it's a challenge with the boomers to tell them monolines are good for you.
Of course.
But the millennials and Gen Zs are understanding, what it is. Those monolines, they give me a better rate. It's like, when you go to the dealership to get a car, that person, when they finance your car, they don't ask you which bank do you want me to apply for.
Of course.
They apply with all the banks, whichever approves, boom. Here, take the keys and go. This is the rate. Same thing with the mortgages.
I see.
Yeah.
What is that rule of paying extra, per year, or what is it exactly? How much are you
So-
allowed to? Is there a rule for that?
Yeah, for
specific
sure.
rule?
It's an interesting point because a lot of people don't realize that. They just
Yeah.
keep paying the mortgage
Usually it's
payment.
like 25 or 25,
Depends
30
per
years?
bank. Yeah,
Or
okay.
20
So,
years, or depends.
so your mortgage has 30 years essentially by buying your first property. Unless your broker chose to put you on 25 years so that you pay less interest. Because let's understand, something you take longer to pay means you pay more in interest.
Of course, yeah.
So you could take 30 years just to free up your cash in the sense of the longer you take, the smaller payments you're gonna have, right?
Yeah.
So the smaller payments you're gonna have, it means that you have better cash flow, so you have more money coming in. You could maybe put that into your mortgage. So
course.
now, what's interesting is if you do biweekly accelerated, which is, I think, the most underrated payment that exists in mortgages, you do biweekly payments that is called accelerated. So essentially, it takes your monthly payment, you divide it by 2, and you make biweekly payments. The reason why this will accelerate your mortgage, it's because biweekly, sometimes like getting your paycheck,
Yeah.
some months you get paid 3 times. Not every month you get paid 2 times. Some months there's 3 paychecks come in, so 3 mortgage payments going out of your account too. So if you take biweekly, it essentially means that you made 13 months of payment in 1 year. And what it translates to the mortgage is that instead of you taking 30 years, you took the same 30 years, but you just chose to do biweekly accelerated, you're now down to 26 years. It shaved off 4 years right off the bat.
Crazy.
And beyond that, you can also do what we call prepayment. Prepayment is you can prepay your mortgage. Now, of course, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. We don't have that laying around. That's why we go to the bank to finance it, right?
100%.
Say you win the lottery or whatnot, you want to be able to prepay the mortgage. Or let's say you save money throughout the year. So every bank has their criteria of how much you can qualify to get prepaid. Some banks 10% of the principal, some is 15. And what I tell everyone is if you could put a 50, 25, $100 more per month or biweekly, trust me, that will make a huge difference.
You got to contact your bank. for
Yeah,
that.
you contact your bank or you could do it virtually. But I had a client that did that. That client bought a house 4 years ago, and it was a 30-year amortization. First of all, they took biweekly. So their amortization already had dropped to 26, right? And plus, they started throwing in $75 more every 2 weeks payments.
Wow.
And now their amortization were at 18 years.
Wow.
So think about it,
crazy.
because in reality, what mortgages is, you borrow money against the bank, right?
100%, yeah.
If you buy a house for $300,000, if you borrow $300,000 in 30 years, that $300,000 is going to cost you $700,000 to pay back the bank. Now, this is where it's interesting, is that the property also gains value. So in 30 years, it's no longer worth $300,000. So
For sure.
that's your way of saying, it's okay, it's interest. But if you could pay it off faster and not have to pay $700,000 for the loan,
Yeah.
you would profit even more.
Yeah.
So I think that's what is important, and that's why prepayment is important. I think this is a part of mortgages that are not so much discussed. So when you go to a bank, some banks they're not flexible with prepayments.
They won't tell you that either.
Yeah, because they don't want you to pay your mortgage.
Hell yeah.
Let me collect interest, right?
Of course.
So versus a broker, and you sit down with your broker, and this is one of the points that we discuss, is how fast you want to pay it. Are you just a client that wants to take the mortgage and pay it monthly? Okay, fine. Any bank works for you. How fast you want to pay it. I have lenders that are going to allow you to pay your mortgage in 5 years even.
That's amazing.
So that's it.
That's good to know. That's
Yeah.
good to know. So I hope, the viewers, whoever's watching this,
If you guys are already homeowners,
it's good
man,
to know.
prepay your mortgage
For sure.
bi-weekly.
The hack, man. The hack.
Yeah.
I love that, man. I guess now running down to a little bit, talking to my niche, which is, barbers and, self-employed people. It is a lot harder. Is it, or is it not harder for people, or does it change anything in your perspective? It's a little bit more complex.
I think it's like there's always pros and cons to everything, right?
Yeah.
The complex part is that being a barber, you're self-employed, so you declare your own income. You're not salaried.
Yeah.
It's hard to determine your income because there's a lot of cash business in here, right? So it's up to you to declare your entire cash. And some of the barbers, they will balance out the cash they get through expenses. So the way the bank sees it is, man, you're not making really enough money to pay this mortgage, so you won't qualify.
Of course.
However, there's a program that exists for those people. They put 10% down. There's what we call verbalized income. Essentially, it's we take your notice of assessment and we take your amount that you declare, and we will be able to tell visibly that someone that is working full time as a barber could make in the upwards of like $60,000-$70,000 a year,
Maybe, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
That's for you to tell us.
I mean, yeah, a barber could make a lot of money, definitely.
Right. So now let's say this barber declares that he makes $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
I could verbalize and say that possibly his income is 70. So then I can help him buy a property with considering $70,000. Is what we call verbalized income.
That's, I guess, it's not every bank that offers that either.
No, some banks don't offer it.
I
But
see. But as
to
a
your
mortgage-
point, the struggle for a barber would be getting 10% because you can buy a house with 5% down. But as a barber, if you want to go through that program, you have to absolutely have 10%.
I see.
It doesn't just apply to barbers, it applies to so
Self-employed.
many self-employed people that have cash industry that don't necessarily declare everything because
For sure.
veux pas, we live in, I think, the most taxed province in the world,
Yeah.
Quebec itself. It's nice. Our potholes are not nice, right?
And
But taxes are not nice.
yep. Yep.
City's nice. People are nice. So you learn to live with that. But what I'm saying is, yeah, to your point, barbers could have a bit of a challenge just to save up the down payment. But
Of
again,
course.
it's a little bit disciplined. I think 10% is attainable.
Okay, that's great to know that there's even a program meant for self-employed people. 'Cause
Yep.
I'm sure a lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of barbers or hairstylists or self people that have businesses that are sole proprietors don't even know that they're able to go through
They gave
a
up.
system like that.
They gave up.
They don't even think it's possible to even buy.
For sure.
So they get another job or they try to rely on their spouse. So it's cool to know that there's even that possibility. I would say as barber, for me being a business owner first and also a barber as well, I just wanted to see your opinion because it's sort of like touchy a little bit, because you want to show more, you want to put show more of your income, but you also want to show more of your expenses so you don't have enough, you don't owe a lot of taxes. So tell me a little bit about that, because, like I said, if I try to put up my income, but also I'm trying to put up my expenses so I can save money, what do I do now? Like, how am I supposed to, what is the best way in your opinion?
For getting the mortgage done,
Yeah.
the bank, well, the more
Should I just
income you
not
declare.
show?
Yeah, well, that's the boring
Oh.
answer is that the less expense you show, the higher you show your income, the better the bank is going to be comfortable to lending you more money, right? Now, if you have to, that's where you have to assess because some people, they just make their bed with it that I have to pay tax for the next 2 years to buy my property. Then I can reduce my income,
I see.
right? Some people just choose voluntarily to not declare their expenses so that they can purchase a house. But the banks have those programs, like I said. So if it is someone that is buying a house, instead of, yes, like right now, if we're talking in the future, I would recommend you doing that. But let's say I looked at your documents and there's a way to do it without you having to, you know what I mean? Declare less expenses, more income. I'll definitely tell you, guns, we don't have to go through that route. Just save up 10%. You rather take 10%, put it in your property than give it back to the government.
100%.
Because I don't know if you saw that reel. Can I enjoy driving the streets that I pay taxes to drive on, with my car that I pay taxes to buy, my tires that I pay taxes whenever I have a pothole that I have to pay taxes to pay for it, from my salary that I pay taxes, tax on tax.
It's crazy, man. That's why you got to move to Dubai.
Dubai.
Just joking. But it's cool to know that, because I think it's a struggle that I faced myself and I didn't know how. So it's cool to know that, there is that option. Usually, as a mortgage broker, for anybody that wants to apply for, how far do you check out? How many years do you have to look at their income or how?
Essentially, we need 3 years of employment history.
3 years.
3 years. Everything 3. 3 years of where you lived, 3 years of employment history.
Wow, okay.
3 is the magic number.
I see.
And we look at 3 months of bank statement. Hey, that's a good point. I never realized.
3.
3.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So 3 is the magic number.
How much is the Habs winning by tomorrow?
Oh,
3-0?
the Habs tomorrow, I think they're going to win. Playing Sabres, we're going to destroy them. 4-1.
3 écarts.
Yeah. 3 points apart.
Uh,
Sign.
Shout out to Betway. Make your bets right now.
Or Kalshi.
Or just blame him. All right. I guess to just finish off, I'd like to give you a situation and hopefully you could assess it and tell me and walk me through the process, what it is like going with Pave mortgages. So, let's say this guy is employed, he has an income, or do you want to go self-employed? What's more trickier for you?
I think self-employed is more tricky. Let's go.
Okay,
let's
so
go
we'll go. This guy's self-employed. I guess it helps out for my people. This guy is self-employed. He makes about, let's say, 150 grand a year. He comes to you. Walk me through the process of buying my first place
So
from even with a real estate agent? Like, tell me what's the process of buying a crib, buying a home. With
So
Pave mortgages?
essentially, we're gonna sit down. Main point we're gonna first discuss is the down payment, how much he has in savings. So the main part to know is you need to put 5% down payment on the first $500,000. Say you're aiming for a $500,000 property, 5% is $25,000. Let's say you wanted to aim for something higher than $500,000, 700,000, or whatever the case may be. It's 10% above the 5% margin. So
Okay.
10% on whatever's exceeding the $500,000.
So let's say 750K.
Yeah, so
250K will be 10%.
10%. So you got to put 25,000 on the 250K. You got to pay 25,000, which is 5% on the $500,000. So you got to put $50,000 down payment. Now hold on, it's not done because it's not just your down payment. Then you have other expenses. There's closing costs. Closing costs is expenses you have with your house, which is welcome tax, notary fees, moving costs if you're paying a mover. Great thing is right now the government is actually giving back some money return for people that are buying their first home, up to $5,600 of rebate to tax.
Okay.
So it's nice. You pay it this year, you claim it back next year.
That's
But
amazing.
essentially, going back to the point, I would sit down with them and discuss the down payment part of like, hey, how much you have in savings, right? If you're missing savings, can you get some gift and whatnot? So that's the first part we're gonna discuss. Then we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty of send me those documents. This is what I need from you. Put in all the numbers and then tell you, hey, listen, this is your budget. Now that this is your budget, so with Pave Mortgages, the difference is when you come to us through the door, we literally help you. It's like a red carpet service. You walk through the door asking me questions about mortgages, I'm going to put you in touch with a realtor that's going to help you with buying the property, negotiating the house, finding the property. The whole 9 yard of the house will be taken care of. You also have to get the house inspected. You have to find an inspector. We will refer you a bunch of inspectors that you can choose from. And you don't have to break your head on Googling which inspector is good in this sector and blah, 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 and wherever you want to buy. And also at the end, you have to choose a notary. A notary is a lawyer is going to register your house to your name. We're going to refer you to a notary. So essentially, you as a first-time home buyer, your only stress would be just to pick the house. If you have a girlfriend, wife, make sure she's okay with the kitchen, the bathroom, and the laundry room, because the women, they love it. Even though men, we do everything that the women do.
They definitely do.
They do love all those things. So you just got to make sure that the house is something that the family loves. So we'll sit down, break down your income, break down your savings, cook up the pre-approval for you, and then refer you to someone, and the journey starts with us. And don't worry, you can call me as much as time as you want. My services are not hourly.
So I can call you 3 a.m. You'll answer.
If I'm not sleeping, yeah, for sure. If the Habs are playing and it's overtime,
Oh man,
good luck.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Well, bro, I just want to say thank you so much for your time, guys. This was Pave from Pave Mortgages, one of the best brokers in the city. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate
And
it.
my guy, appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Chopping Numbers. And it's your boy Gons. Peace out. Like, subscribe, comment. You know
Don't
the
forget to
deal.
follow the new page.
Yes, sir.